do you have any tips or suggestions for a laboratory that's, heading into Chicago or looking at the market and the opportunities? You're so dialed into the industry. What do you see, or any recommendations that a laboratory might be able to enhance their workflow, enhance their productivity, or really any tips or tricks?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say anything original. I think, Chicago, just midwinter in itself is so busy and there's so many different events to, attend. I think it's just kind of take that divide and conquer mentality. It's pretty easy to kind of get in our habits of, staying in one place, if you will, and maybe only going to one or two meetings. But I mean, I would say if people are kind of in that mindset to kind of break out of their comfort zone and maybe look at some events that they haven't gone to or haven't gone to in a while, go to one of the prosthodontic meetings, go to, McCormick, go to LMT, go to CalLab, do a little bit of each, because there's so many opportunities to learn and get in touch with different audiences and kind of really kind of get a pulse for all the different segments within the supply chain, what people are talking about. And, I think, if we don't go into those other segments or those other types of, meetings, if you will, we kind of miss out. And, if I'm in a lab owner, position or general manager, if you will, I want to have firsthand knowledge and kind of make my own determinations. And so the only way to do that is get out there and go to some of the other events that are occurring there during that week. It doesn't mean like every year you would do that. Maybe one year you stick with the one that you're most comfortable with, whatever that is. But if you can hit 3 or 4 spots during that week, and be strategic about it, I think the value of that midwinter networking, goes up incrementally. And, I think people need to do that. We're all creatures of habit and we like to hang out with people that we're comfortable with. But in order to grow and, be competitive in the future, we're going to have to, be in places where we traditionally haven't gone, because things are moving so fast, and I'd rather be on the front end instead of the back end. So, the only way to do that is get out there and do that.
Bennett, it doesn't surprise me that you recommend somebody to have a plan and a strategy
Yeah.
and an agenda when they go to Chicago to kind of make the most of it. But that makes a lot of sense. Sometimes it gets a little overwhelming. You have courses, you have ballrooms, you have the trade show floor, you have different rooms. So you heard it here first from Bennett. Build a game plan and then execute it. Don't just go in there with your head on a swivel.
Yeah, winging it's not going to be good, because then you're kind of deer in the headlights, and you just say, where do I start? And but there's so many opportunities to learn. Going with at least some kind of game plan, I think's going to make it so much more valuable.
Great. Well, thank you, Bennett. Thanks for joining us.